Braam, really great to have you with us today. And I just wanted to just quickly and first of all ask you about the campaign you've started, Care for Kings. Just tell us a bit about that, what it's all about, and what the reaction has been so far.
Thanks, Craig. Yeah, it's been overwhelming from the word go. I've posted a video online a while ago, probably 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing to see the feedback from everybody. And just wanted to say thank you to everybody that posted it and created a little bit of awareness of what happened to us at the Kings. So after that, a lot of people came on board. Dotry Media, really good people came on board with Cassie Carstens. To help us just create a platform where we can have our voice out there. We don't want to focus on the past. That's been done and dusted. So we want to focus on the future, on how we can help these youngsters and the people that's been affected. As you know, 52 people has lost their jobs overnight, and that can create quite a bit of devastation. But we are picking up the pieces from our side. As my slogan goes, we don't leave anybody behind enemy lines. We look after everybody, especially in the rugby fraternity. So it's more about caring than anything else, and that's where we are at the moment. Really, really awesome, really blessed, really humbled by the support by everybody that jump on board.
Sure. And Braam, just chat a bit about the auction. Obviously, that's over 2 days this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen that one of the things you've put up is your Springbok blazer. What are some of the other things you hope to have in that auction? How can people get involved? What has kind of been, I guess, the response from other guys? AJ Fenter, I believe, has helped out with something to auction. What else is going up there?
Yeah, Craig, just first and foremost, I want to say the thing that I stand for is much bigger than a Springbok blazer. I stand for the truth. I stand for integrity, and I stand for care, and I stand for hope. Being able to donate that Springbok blazer gives hope to everybody out there. So that's the first part. Some of the other players that has come aboard that has really stood out. AJ gave a really nice jersey. Dani Kutsia gave a really nice jersey as well, and then Tian Liebenberg gave a Stormers jersey from from a while ago when the Stormers played in the final against the Bulls at Orlando. He gave that jersey. So numerous guys came to the fore and gave us some stuff, which is absolutely fantastic. But we are getting together quite a nice package for the people to have a look at on the auction. The auction will happen on Friday and Saturday coming this weekend. So it's going to be a real nice buzz because there's so many quality pieces out there that the guys gave. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and Braam, just right at the beginning, obviously when the Kings liquidation became news, obviously there was talk of just how the players and staff had all been, as you say, left without a job pretty much overnight. Just how has the response been from those guys left in that situation? Another thing that you launched, or at least were part of launching, was the Back a Buddy campaign, which I think the last time I looked has raised nearly 80,000 Rand. Just how have the guys rebounded? Not everyone's going to find a new team, but how have they kind of kept their head above water?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of players that has got some contracts somewhere else. Some of them short-term contracts, some of them went overseas as well. But most of us as coaches and staff hasn't been helped at all. So that's what we're trying to achieve with a Back a Buddy campaign. And thank you to everybody that donated on that as well, on that platform. But the Care for Kings campaign is hopefully going to be much bigger with a couple of auctions. We'll also have a gala dinner that's already been sorted on the 26th of November. We'll have a golf day for 24 balls at the Fish River Sun, close halfway between PE and East London in the Eastern Cape. So that's the things that have already been sorted. So like I said, I've been very fortunate to work with incredible people that get things done, not waiting for anything else. And it's about caring. It's about caring, not for me as an individual, but because a lot of them are good mates of mine. But it's about caring for people and just want to show our hearts out there that we really feel for these young men and personnel that has been stranded, as we can say.
Yeah, Braam, I wanted to then just chat about the Kings as a franchise and maybe a franchise no more. What for you as you say, if we look to the future, what is a possibility or a feasible option for that franchise, that hotbed of talent in the Eastern Cape. How can the Kings, if ever, get resurrected? What do you see becoming of EP Rugby, Kings Rugby?
Well, Greg, just first and foremost, if you have a look at the personnel that's already came out of the Eastern Cape, just to name a few, I've worked with all of them. Lukanya Markazoli Mapimpi, Apelile Fassi, and there's numerous names that the list just goes on and on and on. And that is what the Eastern Cape provides. It's the diversity of players, diversity of talent, and that's what we're seeing will probably not go to waste, but there's a big dent in how that talent will come through in the next couple of years. I think it will take a lot of time and effort by the right people to get that back on track. So I really do hope that the dreams of all the youngsters that are playing rugby in the Eastern Cape didn't get too much of a dent. I hope they can still aspire to play at a higher level. And that for us is the most important thing, because rugby creates a pathway for people to express themselves, to earn a better living. And hopefully that comes to terms in the Eastern Cape. So for me, the Southern Kings is very close to my heart. I've created that. They've been my family for the last year when I've been there. The smiles on the faces of the players that greeted me in the morning, I say was amazing. So for me, doing this is really heartwarming, and hopefully we can really put something in their hands within the next couple of weeks. That's my heart, and that's why we do this.
Sure. And Braam, I've heard a couple of people mention the possibility of maybe just reinvigorating a sort of an academy in that part of the world, if anything, just to try and find at least some outlet for players to move into, and at least those guys can have something or something to aspire to, as you mentioned, in order to go to an academy and allow that to be the feeder system. Is it possible to get the academy with enough of an influx of support and finances to get that up and running properly?
Yeah, I think the Care for Kings is just the first part of where we are. I think there's a lot of good that will come out of this, and hopefully it will surpass our biggest dreams, which will be fantastic. So now we're only focusing on the Care for Kings for the next for the next 2 months, where we'll have a couple of fundraisers, and we'll finish it off with a gala dinner, and then hopefully out of that, out of the ashes, arise a phoenix that hopefully can really take it to the next level. Give those guys the opportunity with an academy, if we can do that, to give them the opportunity to play at higher levels. Because like I said, there's incredible people in the Eastern Cape, incredible talent walking around there, and we really want to make sure that their dreams will come true.
Sure. Braam, I just wanted to obviously touch on a couple of other subjects as well, but just in terms of where you see perhaps things that have gone wrong in the Eastern Cape and with the Kings of late, where has there been perhaps a lack of support, a lack of transparency that needs to be rectified if something can come of that region again?
Craig, yes, like I said in the beginning, we don't want to linger on what has happened. We want to focus on what's ahead. And yes, it was a bit of a shock, and there was a bombshell dropped on us. We got told a couple of things, and a couple of weeks later, it changes completely. So the big thing, and the honesty and the truth, that the way we sit now is that there's 52 families without an income. And that's my mission, to be able to support them as far and wide as we can. And lingering on what has happened, I think it's been documented in the press quite a bit. I think for me to elaborate on that, I don't think it will be a little bit of a storm in a teacup, maybe.
Sure. Braam, just looking, and perhaps a couple more questions before I'll let you go, because I know you're very busy getting all this organized, but just tell me generally, it's obviously been a massively challenging climate with COVID and the finances, and that's obviously one of the fallouts has been the demise of the Kings as we've seen it. But if we look on field, just what are your general thoughts on the health of the game in South African rugby? What are the things that excite you? We've seen a local competition finally able to get going again. What are the things that you are still positive about when you look at SA Rugby? Perhaps off the field there's still problems, but on the field, what makes you happy?
What really makes me happy is to be back on the field. That's the one thing. Life without rugby, like I always say, that's who I am. That's how I grown up. That's like rugby has given me so much in life, and it made me who I am. But not just that, it mold me as an individual, and hopefully some guys get the opportunity to experience what I've experienced within my career. I've played in incredible sides. I've played in sides that were struggling, that came to the fore, like Leeds when I was back in the UK. But probably the best example was the Stormers side, the Men in Black era, when we had that. And those are the things that really, really excites me. Hopefully, with everything going on, like COVID and everything else, that the boys will really dig deep to really understand that this is an opportunity to go to the next level. I believe that South African rugby, we've got really strong individuals running it, which is really good at the highest level, and hopefully they really give these boys the opportunity, the youngsters, to be to display their talents out there. Looking forward to the unlocked Super Rugby unlock and going into the Currie Cup. I think there's a great opportunity for a lot of youngsters to come to the fore. We've seen already youngsters like Zanele Mahamba, Kerwin Bosch has been there, Mani Lebok that's back at the Sharks, and some of the old heads like Elton Yankees. These guys are definitely gonna showcase their talents within the next couple of weeks. And like I said, South Africa rugby is always been very strong. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for guys to find contracts anywhere in the world, and especially in South Africa, because of the financial, the financial problems that the game is in. But there's definitely a great opportunity to play with flair, with play with your own ability, and really give people hope and gives youngsters hope to go out there and just express themselves. That's what rugby is all about. Is expressing ourselves. We love the game. And that's my big drive. Why I'm doing this Care for Kings as well is to make sure that what happened to us never happens in South Africa again. So hopefully we will be able to, in the next couple of weeks, put structures in place and work with some individuals like Pete Haymans from Sports Employees Unite to be able to put the structure in place that this never happens to any team or to any individual in South Africa again. And if I can do that, I tell you now, I'll be a very proud man.
I'm sure. Braam, just looking specifically at a position that I'd like to ask you about, just because I'm sure you have great insight, and just in that regard, it's looking at the fly half landscape. With an injury to Andre Pollard, it's probably the guys back home now that we're going to be taking a closer look at. Just what is your general thoughts on the guys like you mentioned, the Kerwin Bosch, then there's Damien Willems, a couple of other youngsters. Just what do you think of the depth in that position?
I think there's real depth in that. I do believe the youngsters that you've just mentioned, Kerwin Bosch, Damien Willems, are really quality young players. They need to grow into the mold. The only way you get better is when you play at that level day in and day out. It doesn't happen overnight. And that's why I want to come back to Elton Yankees. Elton Yankees has been a seasoned campaigner. He's been the best player, got the honors for being the best Super Rugby player in the last decade. So for me, Elton has definitely has stepped up. I think playing in the right side with the right personnel, he will definitely go from strength to strength. And that's just Elton. Elton feels really comfortable at that level. And I believe that he will definitely be in the driving seat when we play in the championship, and if we do play in the championship. But it's been an amazing rise for the youngsters, and that's what happens. The youngsters put a little bit of pressure on the older boys, and they need to up their game, which is fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that battle. Who's going to take that 10 jersey?
Sure. And Braam, just a final question. Speaking about some of the older guys, I mean, just in terms of your views on someone like Frans Steyn, who's come back to South Africa. He looks actually for the Cheetahs like, he's fit in form. What value do you think he could still add to South African rugby at his age and with his experience now? And he's, perhaps evolved into a bit of a mentor and leader as well.
Well, just looking at France, it takes me back to my days as well, being one of the tough boys in the team. He doesn't mind taking anybody on, and which is fantastic. And that inspires people around you to do the same. So France is an incredible, talented guy. He showed it when he was 21 years old, winning that World Cup. But for me, France just brings a lot of cohesion. He brings a lot of clarity to the game. And for me, the big thing is he brings calmness because he's been there. He's so experienced. He just, when things go pear-shaped, he says, give me the ball, I'll show you how to take it forward. And that's the kind of characters that you need in a very, very strong cheetah side. They're going to surprise a couple of guys. I think they've got a really, they've got a good mindset. They've got a really good coaching staff as well that backs them. And I do believe that France is probably one of their catalysts that'll go all the way, and maybe a very dark horse to win the whole thing.
Great. Braam, thanks so much for joining us. I won't keep you too much longer, but if there's anything else you want to just mention, or any other things that you feel like people need to be aware of, just feel free to mention that before I let you go.
Greg, thank you so much. Yeah, just from our side, from the boys at the Kings, the staff and everybody, we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all the support we've had. People sharing the message really, really goes a long way. And hopefully we can really give you great feedback on our endeavors in the next couple of weeks. We've got an online memorabilia auction on Friday night and Saturday next week, or we'll just have a look if we can fit it all in. Maybe the week after or the week after that, we'll have a wine auction as well. And then we'll finish it off with a big gala dinner at the Fish River Sun on the 26th of November. So, but again, thanks for everybody that has jumped on the wagon, everybody that's helping us to create awareness, everybody that's digging deep into their pockets to assist us in our in raising funds. I'm speechless. I'm overwhelmed by your generosity and your hearts. So thank you to everybody that's been part of it.
Awesome. Braam, thanks so much. We'll chat soon.
Thank you so much, Craig. Look after yourself and God bless, buddy.
You too. Cheers.